Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Kiss Army Things podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Xander.
My name is Jed.
And we are just two young Kiss fans who want to share our love with Kiss with you. We hope you want to do the same. Thank you for joining us. I think maybe next time we'll talk a little bit more about us and who we are and how we got into Kiss. But really, honestly, we're just two Kiss fans who want to discuss Kiss. We're going to get right down to it. We got 3 topics to discuss, but first, I have one question. Are you thirsty?
I am very thirsty.
I am too. We had a heck of a time setting this up, and now that it's set up, I say we have a drink. So we're not, sponsored or anything, but we're drinking Moneybag Soda. He got me a full case of it for my birthday, which was a few weeks ago, and so we're down to the ginger ale. Now I've drank everything else.
That's delicious. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm not really a ginger ale person, but the ginger ale is really good.
I love it.
But that's just really good because, like I said, it was a heck of a time setting this up. I think we've been at it for an hour, but we're posted up in the Kiss room. We are filming in Indiana, the birth state of the Kiss Army. It was 2 young Kiss fans who started the Kiss Army in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's 2 Kiss fans in 2021 that get to continue the conversation. So, I don't know, maybe we'll shout out to Jay and Bill, the creators of the Kiss Army, on the first ever episode of the Kiss Army Things podcast.
That's right.
Like I said, we're here to discuss Kiss, but we're just going to get right down to it. So the 3 topics we want to discuss are the upcoming releases that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of months. The first one, Off the Soundboard.
Correct.
And then also we're going to discuss the A&E documentary and also the Shout It Out Loud Netflix biopic. But I think first we'll start off with the Off the Soundboard release. That's the one that I'm personally more excited about. Do you remember when I sent you the link to Target.com where it said Off the Soundboard?
Yes.
And there was no album cover, there was no info, there was no official release from the band. It was just boom, here it is.
Yep, I saw the same thing on Amazon as well. It was on Amazon.
Okay, for sure, exactly.
I heard about it.
I'm pretty sure now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I may have pre-ordered it then, and then now that there's an official release, I think I may have gotten another pre-order. So I may have 2 coming. But
I will take one.
That's what I was going to say. Have you pre-ordered it yet? No, I haven't. Okay, but is this something that you're interested in?
Definitely.
Okay, so what is your first impression of hearing that Kiss is going to be releasing? For those of you who, I would assume that everybody knows at this point, Kiss is going to be releasing a 3 LP set off the Soundboard from their show in March of 2001 on the farewell tour. So yeah, when you hear that, where does your mind go first? Let's just get right into this.
Well,
immediate thoughts.
The main appeal and why it's so cool is the lineup from 2001.
I agree.
Very little, I guess, audio and video from that era anyways, but setting that aside, it's more of just getting new Kiss music released it's not new music per se.
We'll take anything at this point, right?
Pretty much my point.
That's one thing about being a young fan is at this point with the band not releasing music is imagine a world where every year there was 2 Kiss albums coming out. That to me sounds insane. So, but yeah, no, I do agree. The fact that it is with a lineup that we really don't see any audio from, that to me is exciting. It feels more exciting and more appealing than say Kiss World. Yeah. When they did Kiss World a couple of years ago, I really didn't have any expectations for that, and it ended up meeting them, it ended up exceeding my non-existent expectations because it ended up having songs that featured all 10 members of Kiss. There was even songs that featured Mark St. John, Anton Fig and Bob Kulick. Not members, but they're there enough to where they're going to come up in the conversation. So I guess Kiss World in that regard was okay, but you still
the spectrum pretty well.
Yeah, and even then you still want something more and something new. So I think this sounds really cool that they're going to be doing. I think it's coming out sometime June 13th or something like that.
June, yeah.
Around June. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. So
well, I'm curious as to. It seems kind of a random release date Not the date, but
the June date?
The actual, no, the concert, like why 2001. It seems like the most random time
Oh man, okay.
to choose live recordings from.
I didn't want to say this and be like this, but let's just go ahead and call it out. I'm pretty sure right now you can go on YouTube and find that show in its entirety on YouTube. And not just listen to it, but watch it. I'm pretty sure...
Well, it's a bootleg. It was originally a bootleg anyway, wasn't it?
It probably was.
I'm pretty sure that's sort of how it's being marketed as.
Yeah, it's definitely being marketed as like an official live bootleg.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, you can just go on YouTube and find this concert. I don't know if they're just taking this audio and just putting it out there, or if they have their own separate release that they're going to be doing. They've released I Was Made for Loving You already on Spotify. Yeah. Did you hear that version?
I heard a snippet of it.
A snippet, okay.
I'm kind of waiting for the whole thing to come out.
Okay, no, not for sure. I totally get that. I heard it a couple times, but I haven't heard it on an adequate sound system to really get a feel for it. Because what I'm thinking of, and I heard other fans talk about it too, is the production. Is like, if it's off the soundboard, that to me makes me think, okay, well, it's just going to be a really thin cardboard kind of audio, which, I mean, it is what it is, but I would hope that it's going to be a little bit more produced and have a little bit more stuff to it. Keep in mind, it is going to be a 3 LP. Usually it's just a 2 LP, but they're accounting for the drum solo, all the guitar solos, the fact that 100,000 Years is like it's a 10-minute ordeal live. Let Me Go Rock and Roll is like an 8-minute thing. So yeah, it's going to be like the full concert. That to me makes me think it's not going to be like edited too much. Right. Because like if you watch Kiss Unplugged and then listen to Kiss Unplugged, it's 2 different experiences. You're getting a lot more cut out on the audio. So it makes me think that they're just going to release this as a whole show. Yeah. And from what I've heard from the I Was Made for Loving You release on Spotify, it sounds like pretty decent audio. It's not like Kiss Alive 3 or anything, but it doesn't sound like some of the other off the soundboard, just these really thin cardboard releases. So. Yes. All in all, I'm excited.
I am very excited.
I noticed that on Kiss Online, because when I went to order it, I was like, you know what? They're doing the limited edition release, which is for $60, and then the regular black 3 LP, not limited edition, is also $60. Which I mean, maybe it was, but when I went, it was $60 for the regular black vinyl, and then $60 for the limited edition. Yeah. And I was like, really? You would think that one would be higher than the other, because I was perfectly content with just getting the regular release. Right. It's the same price, so you might as well. Yeah. That and the CD, that's what I'm looking for. What about you?
If anything, I'll definitely get the vinyl, just for the artwork and all that stuff is cool, but it kind of brings us to the other interesting aspect of this, which is the set list, and how different it was then, how different it is now. There's one key thing that I don't know if you saw that stuck out to you about the set list. But it did to me. It was a specific song.
I saw Talk to Me.
That's the one.
Yeah. That was the one. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, Ace is in the band, so they are playing. Which that is a really.
That's an extremely random Kiss song to throw into live.
It wasn't in the American set list, was it? I don't remember that being in the American. It must be. Was it? Maybe it was a hit in Tokyo. Talk to Me. I don't remember it being a big hit over there. But it is. Yes, you're right. It is something that I guess we could look forward to. The last thing I think we could mention about this, unless you have something else to say about the set list, was there something else you wanted to mention?
Other than it was mostly pretty much similar to how it is now. A lot of the songs are basically the same songs that they play now, but very interested in seeing how Ace, played on those songs, of course, during that period of time with Eric. That's also the main thing.
What songs are different from this set list, or this end of the road set list than the farewell tour? Besides "Talk to Me," the one I can think of off the top of my head is.
There were a couple that were maybe sort of out there, but for the most part, it was just.
It is mostly the same. I know Psycho Circus was played on the farewell tour. It's played on this farewell tour. Crazy Nights. I don't know if Crazy Nights was played on the original farewell tour, but it was played on this one. Right. Heaven's on Fire was played on both. Parasite, they played Parasite when we saw them in Fort Wayne before COVID shut everything down. So there was Parasite. So there are a few changes. Yeah, you're right. No, the Kiss set list pretty much does stay, for the most part, pretty consistent. Right. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about with the off the soundboard. Oh yes, the fact that this is apparently the first in a series is what I read. That this is just the first one. Yeah. And that there might be another release, maybe even a third release. So I'm assuming it's
totally different
eras.
concerts.
Yeah.
So that would be very, very cool if they made this a continuous thing.
And I'm thinking it's like going to be, you know, off the Soundboard series.
Right.
So if they are doing that and they are going to release other shows, what are some other eras that you would like? I know what I'm thinking. What's another era that you would like to see them release audio from?
That's a good question. I thought about it a little bit, and my mind immediately goes to any era with, or Eric Carr mostly.
Yep, that was
that's the only one that really makes sense that we actually didn't get anything. I mean, apart from the bootlegs that you could have gotten from back in the day during that time.
Which we don't, yeah.
There's no official, you know. I think they should have had a Kiss Alive 3 in the 80s. You know, around Crazy Nights era, maybe.
You think Crazy Nights?
Or Hot in the Shade, because that tour had a really good set list.
Okay, I definitely agree with you on Hot in the Shade. I always thought that the Animalized show in Detroit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
With Eric Carr and then Bruce, that was like Bruce's.
At least they got video of it, I guess.
Yeah, they got the video of it. But I mean that when I listened to that, I mean never mind just watching it. But just listening to that, like
how tight the band was,
how fast it was. I mean, it was the '80s. Of course, Eric Carr was bringing some heat.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I always thought that right around the Animalized era could have been a really awesome Kiss Alive 3 release with Eric Carr. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely with you. I want to see something with Eric Carr.
Exactly.
Could be from that era with Hot in the Shade. Could be. I don't really care, dude.
Yeah. I'll say 87 to 89 would have been perfect with Eric.
The Hot in the Shade.
And Bruce, it would have been awesome.
I totally agree.
It would have been amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic, which I think we've briefly talked about it before we decided, you know, to fully 100% commit to a podcast. But we were talking about the documentary, or the Netflix Shout It Out Loud biopic that I think they're still coming to a close on the deal. I don't think anything's been set in stone yet. But so that one, I think we had some things to talk about, some mixed feelings, and so I'll just swing it to you. Yeah. When you hear that Kiss is going to be doing a Netflix biopic, what are the things that you go, this is going to be awesome, and then what are some of the things that you go, oof?
Well, I think it's
red flags.
Just my first impression was, okay, it's cool that they're doing this to get it out there to the mainstream, I guess, to maybe get some younger fans in. I think that aspect of it's actually just really cool on its own. And I'll watch it no matter what happens, even if it looks bad, early on from what we get. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing to do. It's hard to say anything about it without seeing anything from it yet. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm kind of still waiting and being reserved about it. And but like I said, I'll watch it no matter what. It's just picturing how other people are going to view it and how it comes across, it might be questionable. But overall, I think it's a cool idea.
I think it's a cool idea as well, and I think you bring up a good point about how it's going to come across.
Yeah.
So the director, whose name I don't remember now, but he's worked on Maleficent and Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man. I don't know if he's directed, but he's directing this biopic. But he's done work on Maleficent and Dead Man Tells No Tales or whatever that Pirates of the Caribbean. But that to me said, okay, I haven't seen those movies, but those are pretty big movies that if you're being involved, I'm putting a little bit of trust not only in that with it, but also the fact that Gina Paul are going to be involved, and that has for some fans been a red flag where it's like, oh, Gina Paul, it's going to be
skewed in their favor.
It's going to be one-sided, But for me, when I hear that, I'm like, thank goodness, because it's almost like the Mortal Kombat movie we just saw. Yeah. You're dealing with really cool concepts, really cool imagery. You have loyal fan bases, but you're about a hair step away from being cheesy and hokey.
Right.
It's the different. Yeah. It's you walk a fine line.
It's always that way if you're putting if your favorite band or anything you do that you like goes to the mainstream, and then you're kind of worried about what everyone else is gonna like.
It's gonna get watered down too.
This is kind of silly. Maybe this isn't really cool. And when I think about the early Kiss days that they're gonna try and recreate, it's.
It definitely has to be done in a certain way. Otherwise, it is gonna either fall short or fall through. And so, I think the fact that Gina Paul are involved, I think they're gonna make sure that justice is due, because let's face it, their names are attached to this. Yeah. So I think that nobody loves Kiss more than them, and they're gonna do their best to make it good for us.
Right.
So, but I guess my red flags would be, I'm gonna watch, like you said, I'm gonna watch it no matter what. When I think about it, like opening up Netflix and then seeing the KISS logo, and then it's gonna play a preview, right? Like that to me is exciting. But I'm worried about, not worried, but like just, we're here talking, it's fine. There's no consequences, we're just having a discussion. I'm thinking about casting. How are you gonna have people that look like, sound like Gene and Paul? Like when you start having KISS, like one of the things about KISS Meets the Phantom was the stunt doubles, they're wearing that makeup, but that don't look like Gene, that don't look like Paul. So it's, you gotta have that look. You have to be a good actor, play the part, you gotta have the look. There's a lot of layers to this that I think...
That a lot of KISS fans will be micro-focused on.
A lot of KISS fans, us included.
I think they're likely to sacrifice that element of it just because it's going to be on Netflix and it's appealing to a more broader audience. I think they're going to paint with broad strokes as far as that goes, which... I mean, I know they'll have some things here and there that'll be thrown in, that'll be, deep KISS references that we'll get. But I think for the most part, I actually didn't. I wish I would have seen the Motley Crue one that they just did, because I've heard mixed things about that. So I'd have to think about how they did that and see if they would try that.
I think I think that one ended up being very similar, where I stayed away from it because, like, every time I got brought up, it was people saying, well, they said this when really this happened. Or, they mentioned Doc McGee being the manager of KISS, when in reality, he wasn't the manager for KISS until, like, many years later. They just said that because technically it is true, but chronologically it didn't fit. So, there's going to be a lot of that going on. And maybe, I think you're right. Maybe we should give The Dirt a chance, because I stood away from it because I know that there were so many people in it that were just nitpicking it. I was like, look, I'm not even going to get involved. I did think that they did a good job casting NGK as Tommy Lee, which when you hear that, you're like, what? But it made perfect sense. So maybe if, they were able to pull that off, maybe they'll be able to pull something off with Gene and Paul. My thing is that, like, if you're going to have KISS, is your star child going to, like, how y'all feel? Is he going to, like, sound like Paul? How are you going to do that? Like, I mean, are they going to pull audio that already exists and use that? Or are they going to have this guy do his best Paul Stanley? Is he going to, like, sit there and watch hours and hours of Paul Stanley to, like, immerse himself in this role? We're overthinking at this point. But I'm just thinking about it, like, the final product, like, because I, like any other KISS fan, want it to be the best that it can be. Now, all that aside, the big thing about this is that, yes, KISS fans are going to watch it, and we're going to have a lot of things to say about it, but this, I think, is really for the masses. This is for the folks that, there are folks out there that they work all day, they get home, they sit on the couch, they open up Netflix, and then they watch whatever it is that's new, what's current, what's happening, what's trending, and that's their hobby. They stream, and, without really any judgment on what they're streaming. They just want to be entertained and see something cool. And I think with the fact that rock and roll is at a point now where it's becoming celebrated, and it's becoming almost like a legend almost, you do have these opportunities to kind of like bask in it. And so I think that whereas lots of KISS fans are going to have, different things to nitpick like we are right now, talking about the casting and the blah, 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 there's going to be so many folks that watch this and go, wow, I respect this band. They're going to be like, wow, Gene and Paul and Peter and Ace and, the makeup, the show, they influenced an entire generation. Their story is, wow, I've always thought KISS was this and KISS was that. Turns out it's really this. I think that'd be really cool for a lot of folks to see. Even though, a lot of KISS fans are going to have something, we'll have something to say. And I'm sure that once it's out, we'll be right back here talking about it again. But meanwhile, there's going to be so many folks out there that are just like, oh, this is so cool. They're going to see somebody wearing a KISS shirt, and they're going to be like, I respect that. Like, oh yeah. They might be able to, have a conversation with us now. That'd be cool. And then, not that they're just going to all of a sudden start buying KISS stuff and buying records. But the fact that they might have a little bit of an insight in, that to me is exciting. From the outside looking in.
I'm surprised Gene and Paul haven't done it sooner.
Really?
Because everyone has Netflix.
And
you think if you want to get your name out there, I think it's a good idea, and I think it's going to be. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be worth watching. Looking forward to it.
I'm trying to think how long it's going to be. If it was like I heard 4 hours maybe.
What?
I can't remember if they were talking about the Shout Out Loud or the A&E biopic being.
The A&E biopic was supposed to be 4 hours.
That's that.
Split
okay,
up into
for
two
sure.
different episodes.
Oh wow,
cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Kiss movie, Netflix movie will just be an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah.
One last thing about the Netflix before we move on. One of the articles that I was reading mentioned that they were going to talk about and really establish Gene and Paul before Kiss.
Yeah.
As it said, imagine Gene at the age of 12 years old.
Oh.
And imagine Paul, who went through some of the stuff he did growing up. Sounds like they might actually talk a little bit about that too.
Really?
Like
that's strange, but
this thing might open up with a poor or a poor Gene. Yeah, and then him meet Paul, and then there's might be like maybe a time jump or something.
I wonder why they would even put that in there.
I mean, Gene and Paul are at the head of it.
Well, that's true.
But
I'd be interested in seeing just a series about Gene and Paul.
Yeah, and they're doing it like a biopic, so it's almost like a movie where it's like.
Well, yeah, that's what.
So they're really establishing,
yeah,
I guess, these two characters, which I think is pretty cool. But again, you got to think, how are they going to handle that? Like, how are they going to like?
Yeah, I guess
it's gonna be so fun.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see.
I'm looking forward to it.
The thing I think I'm looking forward to the most, and this might sound weird, but the thing I'm looking forward to the most is learning more and seeing other characters that were involved in all of this. Neil.
Yeah, that's a very
Bill.
good point, actually. Yeah.
I don't know if Sean will be included, Sean Delaney, but I mean, when you think about Neil Bogart, Joyce, Bill Aucoin, the people that were really
behind the scenes,
making sure that this thing happened. Kiss were on stage blowing stuff up, but it was really
these people,
the folks behind the scenes that were securing, making sure that they have a home and a label and they have management and taking care of them. So I would hope that if Gene and Paul are really at the helm of this, they would be more
inclined to put that stuff.
More inclined to really establish
to give credit where it's due.
Because Kiss fans know the story.
Yeah. Well,
Kiss fans know the story.
It's very possible that they could even put that aside and just paint with broad strokes and say, this is just Kiss.
I mean, yeah, it could take many forms.
It could take
many forms.
I mean, in a perfect world, they would probably include all that, because they do deserve it.
But let's go ahead and, because we kind of camped on that for a while, but let's move on to the A&E documentary, which, let's face it, that's for us. Yeah. If the Netflix is for some of the masses and some of the more casual / non-fans to be introduced to Kiss, the A&E documentary is for us to bask and revel. Paul Stanley said he watched it and he said this is something that we can be proud of, or that he's proud of, that he thought this does us justice, and I'm proud that this is going to be released. Yeah. So that, to me,
that's good stuff. I'm pretty excited for it too.
I tend to agree towards Paul. Now, I don't actually have A&E.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it.
We stream. Either way, I'll be watching it one way or another. But that's kind of funny that like it's 2021. I don't have cable. Like I don't watch cable television anymore. Like sorry.
Exactly.
This is a good way to get you back in it though, because they're gonna get something out of me.
That is true.
Just to get it. I don't know if it'll be online. It probably will in some not so legal fashion, but it may appear on online somewhere. But
so we'll get to it somehow.
But I'm definitely excited for that.
I'm definitely excited for that too. At first, I wasn't really, I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, and then realizing that since they're on their final farewell tour, this will be the last thing like this they do as a touring band. Because they've done similar things where, like a Kisstery, TV thing, but I feel like this
Oh my gosh, remember Kissteria?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember Kissteria on A&E? Like 10 years ago? That thing was a riot.
That was a riot.
Anyway, yes.
But as a touring band, it's almost like the last thing they're going to give to. I think it is sort of to the mainstream as well, just to give everyone a deep history lesson before it's all said and done. As a touring band, I think it's really cool, and I'm quite excited to see. Well, I don't know if we know if Peter and Ace are ever going to be involved.
I don't know.
I've heard both that they are and that they aren't. So I actually have no idea if they're going to be reinvited.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't, just because obviously, the current band is the current band, and who knows, maybe Peter and Ace don't even necessarily want to be involved in that. I mean, who knows? We don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Right.
But I still would hope so, in some capacity.
Yeah.
I think they were going to do the You Wanted the Best documentary that never came out because of various issues, whatever. Yeah. They said that while they had done new interviews for Gene and Paul, they had pulled old, never before seen interviews from Peter and Ace.
Right.
That were to be included. So I'm wondering if maybe those might pop up. I think this is the thing I don't know the least about, the A&E documentary. I'm not familiar too much about this. The only thing I know is that there was a call on Facebook sent out to all KISS fans to send in like rare live, never before released or seen footage, very rare. And fans like, I got all kinds of stuff I can send in. So that was, we are going to see some stuff that, whether it's high quality, low quality, whether it's Coventry or Anaheim, what scale it's going to be, I don't know, but that automatically is very exciting.
That is very cool.
And there's also going to be, they're going to play a show afterwards too.
Really?
So right after it's aired, they will be performing in New York City at the Tribeca Festival or something like that. It was called Tribeca. It's in New York City. KISS is playing.
Is that this year?
That's this year. They're gonna be performing right after the A&E documentary airs.
Nice.
They'll be performing.
That'll be nice.
So KISS is performing in 2021. COVID, I mean, COVID's been the only thing to shut. KISS has been playing continuously for almost 50 years, and never stopping. They tour relentlessly, and COVID has been the only thing to shut them down.
It took a pandemic to get them to stop.
It took a global virus to get KISS to not tour, and even then, you got Dubai. You have this,
excellent.
Which was fantastic. I'm still waiting on my DVD. Let's go. Haven't got the DVD. I ordered it, but I mean, the final release, they're gonna do a whole big edit and then release it. I think some folks, if you paid the big package, you got it on vinyl.
Nice.
Hopefully that gets a singular release.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got Dubai, which was great, and then you have this upcoming performance in New York. I believe they're going to be performing in Australia this November. Fingers crossed, picking back up end of the road tour, which means possibly 2022.
Yeah.
This thing continues. What a time to be a KISS fan.
They've been the busiest band out of anyone during the COVID season because it still seems like they're doing so much.
Yeah, and
which is cool.
So much and to such a big scale. I thought when Paul did his, Paul Stanley checking in from home, and he was like, he did 2 videos of him just sitting in front of the camera. He pushed record and started playing songs and was talking. That was awesome. I was like, I want to see more of that. And we only got the 2. We didn't get any more than that, so I was hoping for more. But then you had Metallica, who gets together and did, I think, Sanitarium or something.
They did some of the same. Not from their home, but on their official page. They
made
a few videos when they're playing. Yeah,
that was cool.
That was really cool. And
I was like, see, KISS needs. I was like, why isn't KISS doing this? If they're such a great band and they're better, why aren't they doing this? And they go, okay, well, how about a 250-foot stage and we'll break records and we'll do it. How's that sound? I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, no, you're right. They are busy, always busy. It's 2021. Mm-hmm. We have a new Off the Soundboard release. We have an upcoming Netflix biopic that's still being negotiated, but let's go ahead and say it's going to happen. They already have a director lined up. Right. They got a script written. Gina and Paul are already on board. It's just, I think Netflix is fighting for it right now. I think Netflix is in the is in the bidding for it.
Absolutely.
I think Gina and Paul will be dumb not to secure it one way or another. I would assume Netflix is the way to go. Everybody has Netflix more than A&E, but I'm here for both.
And while they're still, because they'll be coming back to America to tour, this would be a perfect time to do that. It's gonna be.
We've seen 4 shows on this tour so far.
That's correct.
I will see a 5th and a 6th if I have to. I mean, as long as this band is here, and even when they're not, I'm here. And that's what we're here to do. We want to just bring you guys cool KISS related content. We've been KISS fans all our lives, just like you guys, and so we're here just having a good time talking about KISS.
Yeah.
Next time we will take a step back and introduce us again and talk more about us. I get it. We're young fans. We're probably half the age of most KISS fans, but we love the band too, and we have a lot to say. We're gonna be here on Xander Films. Like us on KISS Army Things as well on Facebook, Instagram. I think we had a pretty good first episode. What do you think?
Not bad.
Not bad? Not bad? I was gonna say, I think we have a nice little setup. We're trying to do it more in person. I think it's you're my brother. We're family. Yeah. It's time that we share this, and absolutely. No, I agree. This is actually really good.
It is very good stuff though, for real.
And, this isn't your KISS Cola. I need to get more. It's really good. Anyway, so any final thoughts as we close up here?
Not really. No.
I think we laid it out, didn't we?
Yeah, I think
We laid it out,
the
and
important takeaway is that there's just still so much to look forward to with Kiss. It's ridiculous. So.
yeah, the end of the road doesn't necessarily mean the end of the road. I mean, you know,
With Kiss, it never does.
well, I was gonna say, even if they're not touring, you know, there's vaults.
Correct.
There's vaults. There's always stuff to talk about in the future. I mean, we have 20 years of stories worth to tell as well. So that's what we're all about. Kiss Army things. All right. Well, I'm Xander, and this is Jeb. This has been Kiss Army Things. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.